Hey guys, Goku again, and today I'm going to be showing you my Cypher setups for Bind. In my opinion, Bind is probably one of the best maps for Cypher, like Bind and Split. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting really fast, you have this one way here, right? So you try to put, give me a second, let me just pause the game. So you put your cursor somewhere around there, right? Like it doesn't really matter, you have quite a lot of leniency. And the cage drops up here. What this does is, if you activate it, right, you actually see a lot into hookah. And I usually pair it with, I usually pair it with a double trip here, one being here behind this vase. Right? It's a bit hard to spot since it's behind the vase, but yeah. And a second one here. This is usually for like people who kind of like want to drop down box. They can definitely jump over it, but usually you also have this, right? So again, you see they can walk on either wire, and you should usually get 1 to 2 free kills. What the fuck am I doing? So for cameras, the default one is this, right? But will usually get shot out pretty fast. What you can do is, so I don't really get this camera that often, so if you look straight up and jump backwards, you saw that kind of have to spam right click, and sometimes you'll be able to get up there. Again, this just takes practice. It's just something that, like, it's really niche, right? So there we go. Right, and like it's really insane because it's covered by most things, right? And pushing up, you usually can't see it because it's blocked by this, right? But like, it's a really good camera. Right, so this makes it a lot easier to play. I usually sit on box, right, and just watch. And when I see them walking up, or like when they trigger the wire, I just frog them one way, and yeah. I'm gonna take this cam back. Okay, next setup. So there are a few so my default camera is this, but this usually gets shot down pretty fast. So you see most of sight, and you see very deep into long, right? You see like down here. It's a camera that will usually get shot out pretty fast, but it gives you a lot of early info. And what I do is I pair it with this strip here. And usually this. Right, you can angle it however you want to. I usually just do it like this. Throw a cage there. I usually play from here, right?
Here.
I see them walking long, or if I see them jump down, I just frog the cage. Try to take this one from, because no one actually clears this corner specifically, right? Because if you're jumping down hookah, in most cases, right, like you're more worried about this. This can be smoked off, right? So if it's smoked off, it's even easier for you, right? And usually when you're going to be jumping down, like you're going to be checking this, right? And like you're going to be watching down there. So most people usually won't full clear this corner, so you should be able to get 1 to 2 people
cage triggered
pretty easily. And also I have this wire in case people push here, right? It's a really hard wire to spot. And it allows you to like kind of take the 1v1, right? Like if you see them coming long, like they broke your cam, you throw the second cage like after you see them coming long, right?
Cage
and
triggered.
It just allows you to take this second 1v1.
Cage triggered.
Next cam. You also jump on this box, and I kind of try to place it somewhere around here. It's not pixel perfect, right? But I try to make it so I at least see like this spot from hookah. And it's a camera that's more meant for retaking, right? You can do the same camera and put it up here, right? But it'll be like this camera serves exactly the same purpose, but it's just kind of harder to spot, right? I mean easier to spot, so that's why I throw this one.
Here.
You still see a decent amount of everything. In this case, usually it'll be this strip and this strip, and I'll usually play this from backside, right? So I see them jump down here,
cage triggered.
take this fight, and usually I do this setup when I have either a second teammate here, or I'm pretty confident that they're never pushing long, right? Because this makes it so they can't plant here without going for the wire, and they can't plant here, right? They can theoretically plant here, but even if they try this, you'll like see them walking up. Next up, we got this cam. I'm just gonna show it. It's a cam that I use very rarely because it doesn't actually see sight, right? But it sees very long into garden and very long into window. So it's kind of a transition cam in my opinion. It's a cam that you can do if you want to rotate really fast, right? Like for example, right, you're playing sight, you see that no one's coming, right? Or like your team calls that there be, and you can quickly, you just pick up the cam and go, right? It's not really a camera that's meant to stay on site. I think that's mostly everything I use on this site. You obviously got like these wires. This is also a pretty useful wire. I just prefer playing this one, right? But they serve, hello? Like this and this serves pretty much the same purpose. Also, just as a side note, right? You can angle two wires from the same spot here. Right, one going to the box and one there. It doesn't really make much of a difference which one you use. Just keep in mind that if you use this one, that's a bit longer, right? And like, the only difference is if they're jumping down box, right? Like here, they kind of won't, they won't activate that wire while they will activate this one. But yeah, everything else is pretty self-explanatory, right? You can use that wire, right? You can set up something like this. Right, you just play backside, proc both cages, take shots. And yeah, I think that's mostly everything that I use for this site. Again, it's very like these are the main. I have a few more things, but like these are the ones that have been working for me, right? Like you also have this, which is a very interesting wire, right? Which kind of allows you to play from here. Right, and if you can put like the camera up there, I'm not gonna try it again, right? So I'm just gonna put it here, but like have a camera in hookah. Or what you can even do is, I think there's a camera somewhere back here. Yeah, there it is. Right, so you can have this camera, and if you see them walking up, right, you just pop the cage. And this is actually a really good wire, because most people will walk forward to clear out this angle where you're standing. But like, if they just push up, I usually have a second wire here. And this makes it if you wanna defend hookah aggressively. This is also a good spot for playing judge. Alright, going on to A side now. So A site again, there's a few different things you can do. I'm gonna show this camera. This is very generic and it's something that I don't use a lot anymore. I used to use it a long time ago. Right, you just throw it up here, you see into bathroom and you see down. Right, but it's a camera that will get shot out extremely fast. Right, but it does give you some early info. I just prefer doing this now. A lot of people won't check it, especially if you don't tag anyone, right? It sees a little farther into short, right? It sees like almost to the edge of cubby. I pair it usually with this strip. This has kind of become my default tripwire. And this, especially if I'm playing from here, right? So you see them walking up, proc the cage, and then you can swing on both trips, right? Because they're parallel to each other. So, right, even if they're pushing you, right?
Cage triggered.
Cage, and like you have both trips, right? So you can theoretically catch 2 or 3 with one smoke, which makes it very, very useful. You got this smoke, this wire here, in case they really like to push U-haul, right? You can put this wire. My bad. You can have the same camera as before, right? It doesn't change much. I'm just gonna put it here for now. Right, as long as you see them walking out into lamps. Keeping in mind there is a one-way somewhere up here. I think it lands on this one, but it's something that I don't think is that relevant to use, so I never learned it. But yeah. Other cameras, I use this one quite a lot. Yeah, come on. You can pretty much put it anywhere on that wall, right? I just kind of prefer putting it as up as possible. You can also put it up here. Also a pretty good camera. It'll get spotted probably easier than this one, but they fill exactly the same purpose, right? I just switch them up depending on like if they found the other two cameras, right? Like most cameras are the same, like this one as well, right?
Here.
You see the main parts, you just don't see into showers. You just kind of want to swap positions of cameras, just so it's easier. Defending showers, you have this camera right when the barrier drops, right? There we go. Right, and
Here.
you see down shower. Usually pair it with this strip. Obviously, you can do this one. I just prefer doing this. Right, you can do the straight one, but I prefer doing this one because a lot of people, I know myself included, if heaven is smoked off, right, what I'll do is I'll usually push out like this because I'm kind of clearing there, right, and there. So I like this wire because it's hard to back off from, right? Like once you get hit with a wire here, it's much harder to like back off before getting shot. While if I have this wire, right, and like you get hit, you can immediately try to back off. So yeah, that's why I prefer this one. And in case I am defending showers, I'll usually put either this wire, right, to watch for the cross, right, so I see them coming in,
Cage
I
trigger.
pop it, trade one, and try to back off, right, and I'll usually have to trade another one here off this wire. Or you can pair it with this one here. Again, the purpose is exactly the same. Yeah. You also got this, which is a very unconventional wire. And it's kind of dependent. Most people do plant to default here, right? But I do know that a lot of people do plant here because you can watch it from showers, right? So if you see that they're planting here a lot, this wire is definitely viable. Right, and like, if you want to play like very close and you got no one showers, right, you can just as the round starts, put that there, right, and just swing off with this one. I think that's mostly everything. Keep in mind, like I said, the most default two wires are this and this, right, and I play showers, but you can definitely do the same two wires and play from here, right, or you can do this one. Right, so the original a setup would be something like that. This one, oh, give me a sec. And like a camera somewhere up there, right? And you can play truck. So if you want to play truck and if you have someone that's like either pushing bathroom, right, like from your team, because most duelists do just push on defense, right? Like
Here.
you see them walking up, or you see them walking showers, right? And you can like
Cage trigger.
swing off this wire, right? And then if you saw one pushing showers,
Cage trigger.
you can trap this, and if they hit this one, you can take the second 1v1. So yeah, I think that's again. I do have a few more stuff, but like this is what I use every time like I play this map, right? I use kind of these two setups or these three setups on A and the three setups on B. Like they're just the most reliable and they are what has been working the best for me. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you learned something new. See you guys next time. Peace.